Alrighty then. Hi there, this is Coco with Endeavor Cinema Group. I'm here with Rashaad Ernesto Green, writer and director of Premature, and also Gun Hill Road, which will be released when?
This August. Yeah.
This August. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good. You know, we've had a really successful run so far, and we hope that theatrically it'll take off. We premiered at Sundance in January. Gun Hill Road, it stars Isai Morales and Judy Reyes of Scrubs, yeah, it's about a Latino family in the Bronx whose father returns home from prison after 3 years, discovers that his wife is estranged, and his teenage child is going through a sexual transformation that he can't quite grasp and understand. And yeah, you know, it touches upon, you know, important issues in our community that you know, we have to not be afraid of talking about anymore, and I think it's gonna touch the hearts of many.
Is that, where'd you come up with that story? It's
personal. It's actually inspired by my own family. I have a family member that went through something very similar. So, you know, I know that there are a lot of families, not only in the Bronx or New York, but all over the world that are going through, you know, issues that they might find difficult to air out or talk about. And, you know, this is the kind of film I think that even if you're not necessarily going through this very thing, the themes are universal enough that you can identify with it for sure.
Right, and so is that with Premature? Is that again what got you to do that one there? What was the motivation, or you know, what inspired you to do that one?
Well, Premature, it's another New York story. From New York, born and raised, and it's about a 14-year-old girl gets pregnant and how she has to deal with it in her family and her community. And you know, with Premature, I had been a teacher in the school system in New York, in the public school system, and I had seen just a lot of teenage girls with pregnant bellies, and you know, it's you know, I guess it's a bit of an epidemic in urban communities and you know, lower economic communities with lower incomes, and you know, I guess I wanted to make a film that addressed that in some way, and showed the issue that was there, and I guess how to go about solving it or dealing with it.
As far as you know, upcoming projects, what else do you have? What else are you working on?
Well, right now I'm really promoting Gun Hill Road, which is supposed to come out this August, and you know, just really going around with it and getting the word out there, because with independent film, you know, it's very important that the word of mouth spreads, you know, in our community, and it's the kind of thing that's so dependent upon you telling your neighbor and you telling your friend or your mother, please go and see this film. So I'm doing everything in my power to spread that word of mouth right now, because like with a bigger budget project, you know, you see 5,000 ads, you know, in McDonald's and stuff like that. With us, you know, you really just gotta really work it. It's kind of a full-time job right now, so that's what I'm doing mostly. I'm also writing and looking for scripts to see if I'm inspired by anything, to see if there's something out there I wanna do next.
Okay. And so, as far as your promotion here at Rosemarine, how do you feel about this festival? How's it different, maybe, from all the others you've gone to?
Rosemarine, I mean, in its first annual year, I have to say it's very kind to its filmmakers. It's, you know, they really have taken care of us really well, and what they're trying to do here is it's needed in the community. You know, the community definitely needs a home for Latino film here in Texas, and I hope that you know, that the word of mouth really gets out there about the festival, and people, you know, depend on it for, you know, as a you know, a foundation in the community, so they can go out and support it, and that they know that there's a home here for them. You know, that there are filmmakers and artists that are telling stories that they can identify with, that that they can go to a cinema and see their images of their families on that screen, and not just the big comic character blockbusters where they don't where it's almost like we don't exist.
And so I'm wondering what we've been talking a lot about the Latino community, and maybe, for example, yesterday I was talking with Claudia, and she says, okay, with New York and the Latino community, the kids are used to being a little more outspoken and, having the spotlight on them. And she says that mainly it's probably because they're around that entertainment industry a lot. They're in the center of the arts, and gets you to be a little more, outspoken. While as here, she sees that difference with, that they don't, even for them to say their name in public is, they struggle with that. And so, I mean, you grew up in New York, Latino community, mixed there. I mean, did you feel any kind of, how was that for you? Do you feel that you were a little more out there? Or did you know that you were going to do this? Or what kind of pressures did you face? Did you have that parental support saying, okay, I wanted to film, and they're like, okay.
You mean as far as like New York versus the rest of the world? You mean how it puts you out there, or how it prepares you?
I want to know if like Claudia's. I'm trying to see how with Claudia, where she says that New York is more exposed to that, and the kids are more exposed to being out there. Have you always been that way? I mean, because you're pretty good about
I don't know. I mean, I think I grew up in a very multicultural community in New York, and as far as like, I mean, it really runs the gamut as far as like self-expression, because we have so many different cultures and so many different religions, and I mean, we have Muslim kids, and we have Christian kids, and as far as like putting yourself out there, it doesn't necessarily go across the board, but I guess in New York, there is something to New York that's, I don't know, not taking any crap from anybody, and it gives you sort of a shell to maybe deal with people in the rest of the world. I'm not exactly sure, because I'm kind of on the inside of it, but I think a lot of it has to do with the individual families and the individual upbringing, and my father was a very extroverted person, somebody who wasn't afraid of public speaking, and kind of pushed his children out there, call your uncle who you don't really know so well, and call this friend, and kind of forced us out of our shell a little bit, because I definitely was really shy as a child, but when I went to college, I guess with my dad's voice in there, and I fell in love with acting. And when I had to be on stage and I had to express myself in front of an audience, I really had to get over that fear pretty quickly. And I guess it happened. It happened as a result of acting, and as far as the rest of the United States, the rest of the world is concerned, if we use theater, if we use theater in our education, if we use places like the Rosemarine Theater to have workshops and plan events for children, we'll break them out of that natural a tendency to go inside your shell. Kids really, you need to kind of crack that, and show them that there's a world out here that when you get to express yourself, it can be a really wonderful thing. I mean, we see adolescents, in every in every city, cracking at them those shells themselves without even realizing it. You know, it's like people are shy and people are inhibited in their lives, and they need substances in order to break them out, or they need excuses to break them out. They go to clubs and venues where, you know, you're drinking alcohol or abusing drugs in order to break you out of this shell, which, man, just human communication is the most natural thing in the world. You don't really have to be, you know, afraid of other people. You don't have to have posture, and you don't have to pretend, or, you know, you don't have to do anything but be yourself. You know, people out here, we love each other. You know, and theater is one way to get at it.
So is that something? I mean, when you're doing your films, is that part of your concept behind it? When you get people to help you, is really, again, a venue for them to get out of that shell, a good, I mean, a positive venue for them to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, yeah, filmmaking or you know, when doing theater, you know, I always try to be myself. You know, with Gun Hill Road, for example, I cast someone for one of the major roles, who had never acted before. And she was very, very shy, you know, very, very much in her shell. Harmony Santana, it's the one who plays the child in transition. And, you know, during that rehearsal process and during that, you know, bringing her through this workshop and acting, you know, I had to make her feel safe in order to get the performance that I needed. And in order to do that, you know, I had to show her that I could be really silly too. Because I guess the fear is, what if I look silly? Yeah. What if I look bad up there? It's just like, well, you know, what people think. Yeah. What does that really mean? What if I look silly? You know, and it's just like, okay, well, I'm silly. I'm silly. There's really, really nothing wrong with being silly. It's a great thing, you know. So I got up there and, you know, we sang songs. You know, I said, you know, what is your favorite song? And she said, you know, it's like Selena, Dreaming of You. And I was just like, well, you got to sing it. You know, she was like, no way, no, I can't do it. I was just like, so I just started singing and prancing around the room, and she was like, this guy is nuts, you know, and I was just like, yeah, you know, of course I am. Now, can you be nuts with me, you know? Can we be nuts enough that, you know, if we're silly enough with each other that when that camera turns on, you could just be yourself and you don't have to worry about anything or anybody watching you or feeling self-conscious or anything.
Okay.
One more question.
Well, I mean, to me, is there anything else that you would like to share that I haven't asked and you haven't shared already? I mean, I'm just so, like, entranced right now because everything you say, I mean, on stage here, you're really good at expressing yourself. So.
Oh, right. I mean, thank you.
Anything else you might want to add?
Well, you know, I'm not exactly sure how many people are aware of Gun Hill Road, you know, but I would really, really just like to get the word out there, and hopefully you guys can come and support the film. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Gun Hill Road. Now you go if you visit the page and you like it. There's a like box. You like that page and you spread the word and you post it on your Facebook profile. Tell everybody about the film. Get it over here to Texas. Get it from Fort Worth. You know, and really just tell everybody about this film because this is how this thing is gonna live. We also have a website, gunhillroad.com, which is gonna be live like next week. So, you know, come support it and hopefully I'll see you in a theater soon. Yeah. I'm excited. I will like you today. Thank you. Thank you.